Welcome to Sudeep Audio's channel. Could you quickly give us your name so that we know during the course of the interview who does what, and starting from you?
I'm Zubin and I play bass.
I'm Rohan and I play keys and sing.
I'm Vivaan, I play drums and percussion.
I'm Siddharth, I play guitar and sing once in a way.
I'm Teji and I play guitar.
I'm Ankit, I play acoustic guitar and I sing.
So it seems a lot of guitar heavy kind of a band, is it?
Trying to be, yeah.
Trying to be.
No, I would say guitar heavy as such because it's just basically trying to get different textures.
Okay.
So because I play acoustic and we started off with that, so I continued playing acoustic.
Right.
But getting both of them on electric was kind of like a call that we took because we just felt texturally, if you want to go in various directions, if you want to try out, experiment, it would be much easier to have to, and both of them are very different kinds of guitarists. They both come from, different styles, different ways of playing, so I think that's why we have.
Right. First things first, why are you all called Spud In The Box? What does it mean?
That's a secret.
What does it mean? What does it stand for somebody?
It means everything and anything.
Everything and anything, yes.
Yeah.
It is.
It's up to you.
It's everywhere. It's here.
We're not letting out the actual meaning.
Yeah.
It's
a trade secret.
It's a band thing.
So do you think at some stage you will let on to your audience what it actually means, or it's going to just be with you?
Or do people just Google
We
and
don't
find out?
We don't know yet.
I think we want to drive it to a point where it's at such a crucial level that if we do release it, we're getting a lot out of it.
Yeah. First, it is quite
And secondly,
anticlimactic.
it will be quite hilarious that
Anticlimactic.
how anticlimactic it would be will be
it's
very
funny.
hilarious.
No,
So it
but
has to get that funny.
So it has to be
if
worth it.
you ask
Yeah.
Sid, he can tell you how it all started in this place called ancient Ukraine.
Okay, so there's some secret that's being talked about. Let's say, how did you all get together as a band? How did you all meet each other and decide to form a team? Rohan?
Well, it happened like kind of two things coming together in the sense that Ankit and I were playing acoustic sets separately, and Ankit was also playing with his college band, which was the rest of these guys, and he was offered a gig and we just put those two together and went forward with it. And that's how kind of the lineup came about. There were a few lineup changes in terms of number, as in there was a 4 people lineup in the middle, there was a 5 people lineup at first, but it was all within these 6
It
people.
was kind of out of luck that this band came together because it was mostly that we got an opportunity to play before we even had a band. So getting that was really lucky, and that doesn't happen very often. So when we did get that, we got I just asked anyone and everyone I knew who was playing music at that time with me and stuff like that. So these guys were the first option. So that's how it kind of happened.
Moreover than just playing music, what I really liked was the fact that when they got a chance to play, they played mostly original. There were very few covers. They did. How many originals you guys did in your first gig?
I think it was, I'm not sure of the number, but I think it was really interesting that we had a lot of originals, we had a lot of originals lined up before the band was formed. And for our first gig ever, we played one cover which we completely changed around and made our own. And but maybe 6 or 7 originals.
So who had been writing those originals up to that point?
Ankit and I both.
Essentially, again, it was Ankit's original songs, and both of them basically taken from the acoustic part of it and then brought into the band chemistry and just rearranged completely, taken down and just.
So what you're trying to tell me is that you actually had songs before which were like an acoustic version, and then you went around and rearranged everything to suit the band.
But then again, with acoustic songs as well, I think while writing them, sometimes we have a band set up in mind. Anyway,
for some of them,
for some of them, and some of them
singer-songwriters.
Some of them were just written to perform just the two of us.
Some of them still are.
Some of them are.
Like what song? Like give me a song which would be like that.
54.
Yeah, there's a song called 54 which we've been playing during our full band sets as well, and a lot of people have heard it, but it's never come out of that acoustic space because we really like how it feels in that acoustic space. It never got out of there, and the fact that when the band started, there were a lot of original songs already at hand to choose from. There are probably like 10 songs between all of us that we sometimes play in acoustic shows that I don't think anybody has ever heard in our, our full band setup ever. Like,
not even heard. I don't think they're associated with our sound because it's pretty different. Like,
so how does one get to hear your songs?
Only if they play.
How does one get to hear the Spud material or the material?
Spud material.
Well, come for one of our gigs, or we just released an EP of ours called Attention Please. And
how many songs are there?
4 songs on that EP. The thing is, we had recorded 3 songs a long time back, not from the EP, that we just put out there, and we were kind of living off those songs in terms of getting gigs and in terms of anyone listening to us and our sound.
When you say put out there, means where? Where is it?
Online, just online for free download and streaming on Facebook and SoundCloud and all that.
People can get them to hear them for free?
I mean, our SoundCloud page, SoundCloud/Spud In The Box or Facebook/Spud In The Box.
Music, no?
Spud In The Box music, yeah. And so yeah, those were very early songs like 54 Simple As It Seems and Good Way to Die. And we felt after a while, we felt that those didn't represent our sound anymore, because honestly those were recorded when we weren't this 6-piece lineup. And with the songs changing and our sound evolving and new songs coming in to form a completely new sound, we thought it's time to get in, put out songs that people can listen to that really represent what we sound like, but at the same time give a hint of what we sound like, not just give everything away, because it's an EP, it's not an album, it's a teaser of what you can expect at a live show. So it's kind of an advertisement of what people can expect at a live show. It's just a hint.
So how close is the sound of the EP to your live band?
Very close.
Very close.
Yeah, we went into the studio with a very firm idea that we will not put too many things that we can't replicate live, because we don't like it when we go to see artists that we like, and then what we heard on the album is not what we get at the show. So we didn't want that kind of discrepancy in our music as well.
So in your EP, do you have electronic instruments that have been used? Have you used synths? Have you used...
I mean, I play keys, so there's synth on everything. But it's not like it's not like we're against it, but it's not, for these songs we didn't feel the need to use samples or stuff. The thing is that I don't know how it is for a lot of bands, but for us the process is that we write it, we jam on it, we create it together live, and then we take it into the studio. We don't, a lot of us do it the other way around, and that's fine.
Yeah, and all our arrangements are also built in such a way that they cater to a live audience. So our songs are written in that way itself.
Essentially, we're a live band.
Are the lyrics easy to kind of remember, understand?
It depends on song to song. There are songs that are written which are very straightforward, like Lens Life or More Than Once, both of which are on the EP. And then there are songs like Attention Please and Train of Thought, which are also on the EP, the other 2 songs, which you can take in your own way, but they have meanings behind them at some point.
They might have meanings to us specifically, individually, or as a group, but it's not like a straightforward theme, or like there's no
simple message.
Yeah, there's no message as such. Like, it's very open. So,
but there's definitely a vibe. We always try to create a vibe for the songs, because lyrics being abstract just for the sake of lyrics being abstract doesn't work. You have to create a vibe so that people understand what tone they're supposed to imbibe the lyrics in. The lyrics can be abstract, but then you have to give them something musically or structurally, or maybe by the phrasing or something, that they know that these lyrics can be taken in this way or this way or this way. They might not strike upon the exact meaning that the artist was thinking about, but you have to feed people something for them to understand what they're about.
So you think your audience gets your song?
I would like to think so.
We like to think, we hope so.
The thing is, this is actually our debut EP.
I think after this we'll find out if they actually get our songs or not.
So do you find that audience, whoever maybe has been coming to say your concert for like 2-3 times, do they remember the lyrics? Do you find anyone?
Oh yeah, we find people singing along.
It's surprised to see most gigs to see people
remembering. Sometimes they're singing songs that we haven't recorded or anything.
Yeah,
that is really live shows.
And we have a couple of live videos out of a couple of these tracks, because a couple of gigs that we did, they recorded videos. Like Console did Train of Thought and Use Your Words. So there have been times when in the middle of playing you look up and some random person, not a friend or not someone who you called or invited for the show and all, some random person there and she knows or he knows the lyrics.
So you have more of female fan following, or do you have more of the male fan following?
Actually, according to Facebook, we have more of a male following.
But according to our gigs, I think it's the other way around.
We have a lazy male following, which is higher in number.
Yes.
But we have
A more active female
female.
So that's good for you guys, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Yeah, if you like the music, we don't care about gender.
Right. As a band of 6 young boys, do you all face times when you all have a tussle or a creative
Oh yeah, for sure.
fight
Definitely.
or
For sure,
an
but
argument?
I mean, when it
or-
comes to creative stuff,
Once you start
we're all. I mean, the thing is, when it comes to creative stuff, we're always trying different things.
yeah,
So
the
in terms
mindset
of-
is of
Yeah.
experimentation.
So if say tomorrow he has an idea or anyone else, if someone has an idea that's not working with the current vibe of the song, we'll always try it and we'll always try to put it in and see where it's going, because you never know where it can go. So we're always trying to incorporate everyone's influences and everyone's ideas as much as possible, because only when the 6 of us really feel invested in the song and really feel like it's complete, can we enjoy playing it live as 6 people.
It's another reason why the songs are never consistent throughout. We always are changing fractions and fractions.
So if
of
somebody comes to your Bombay gig and goes to Hyderabad,
yeah.
you find a difference?
In the same tour, maybe not, or
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
depending on whether we feel we want to
Yeah. There's
make it
always
better
a jam
for
session in
us.
between
Yeah.
where we'd say, okay, it's not working, let's try this, let's just tweak
Yeah.
it a little bit here.
But that doesn't happen on stage, I hope.
Oh no.
While performing,
Our shows are actually very planned, very focused.
very.
We practice very hard for each show, and we ensure. I mean, our goal in every live show is to be the tightest, the most focused that we can be on stage,
Yeah.
and that is
And
what
have
we
as
want.
much fun.
Yeah, and have as much fun at the same time. So, you'll always find some sort of a consistency, but at the same time, you'll find things that have been changed around.
Yeah.
Maybe subtly or maybe like full on.
And
Because
times
like
the order of the setlist does change on stage.
So how many times in a week do you meet and rehearse?
It depends. We usually end up rehearsing more when the gig is coming or when there's something that we need to rehearse for. But on the other side of it, when there's a song brewing, we do end up meeting quite a lot.
We do compositional rehearsals. Like it's not with the whole band, but we kind of lyrics get down. We have parts arranged, and all. And then when the band comes in, things change. Or
No, it
but we have
depends.
a basic
Yeah.
foundation.
Even with whole band, like the song called Mannequin that we wrote a while back, almost last year now. It's been a year.
Yeah.
We went in as a whole band every day like a day job for a while, and really worked hard on that song.
Worked at it and churned it out and
and we had so many disagreements and so many differences. We went at it for a month, and it was done at the end of a month. It was done, and then we haven't changed it since.
Every day was, I love this song, go back, play it again the next day, I hate this song.
Yeah.
Go back again, I love this
that was
song.
actually the
That was one
most
month.
back and forth
That was one
process
month.
ever.
We started expecting that, I think, at one point. Okay, today's jam was good, that means tomorrow we're gonna hate this.
Yeah.
We're gonna hate this tomorrow, let's just
Has it
everyone
been
call
a
it a
big
thing.
change for you guys to shift from an acoustic set to a band thing, especially for you to Ankit and Rohan, like to kind of adapt to the new textures, to sonically new textures are being added with the bass, the drums, the 2 guitars. So was it like a huge jump for you to kind of open the doors and have a new band come in? Like
Initially it was.
I don't think, even if it was a huge jump.
But it was a welcome jump.
Yeah, that's how it was exactly what we wanted it to be, because when we were playing acoustic sets, we had we discussed having a band. Like even when we just started playing acoustic sets and we'd be jamming to a song with just keys and just acoustic guitar, we'd be like, oh, this would sound so good with crashing drums and a really solid bass line behind it. And so the ideas were there throughout. So when we do go from an acoustic song into a full band song, we bring a lot of ideas and a lot of mentality into it in that aspect. So it's very welcome. It's a really welcome jump, and we try to make sure that it's a jump, because we don't want it to sound like the acoustic song has had a little bit of stuff added to it. We want it to sound like a cohesive 6-person band song. So
each person comes up with their own part, like the guitar players come with their own
have
part.
that.
It depends, honestly.
It depends on that, but also, like he said, it's a welcome change. That ideational thing is across the board. Like he can recommend a bass line, I can give acoustic guitar chords. We all give drum ideas. Vivaan gives us stop ideas. So all that stuff is it's not limited to your personal
So
instrument.
your roles are not like defined that
No, it is
women
defined as
cannot
you play.
write a line.
Oh no, about composition and writing, not at
Composition,
all.
not at all.
Not at all,
It's a democratic process, and what gets chosen finally in the end. But ideationally, everyone's allowed to suggest something.
So in
We'll
this
try. We'll give it a try.
In this democratic process, who has the veto power?
Nobody.
Nobody has a veto.
Nobody has a veto. Whoever cares the most about that part or that song or that.
We'll just
Honestly,
push for
yeah.
it.
Let's push for it. You know, I like this
Whoever,
part. I
whoever
want to make
pushes
it
the
as good as I
most,
can make it.
whoever pushes the most, and whoever cares the most about that part wins. And I think that's fair because
Yeah, that is
if you really feel that strongly about it, then we're going to be okay with it.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's a lot about like we said, it's about the whole live band thing. So whenever we do get to a song, we jam on the song a lot for each and every song. But it's not like we nit and pick at every single part of what everyone is playing. So it has happened that like 7 months down the line after playing a song for that long, we're like, oh, you play this in this song? Oh, I didn't know that you were playing this part in this song.
Yeah.
So it just happens all the time. So we just jam on it until it sounds right to us. Until it sounds
How long are your gigs? I mean, in terms of time duration.
we
as long as we're allowed to.
Yeah.
But how many songs?
we played from like one song to 15 songs.
Yeah.
We've
On
done
the
a
same
one
stage.
song gig.
Yeah, we've had a one song
But these
gig.
are what covers? Or
No, one original song, get off stage, next band.
We've had that happen, and we've had like 15 songs, whole night, Spud In The Box.
all your songs? Or
In terms of our repertoire of songs, we have about 15 original songs right now.
Do you have the audience asking you to sing covers at times? Or
It depends.
Very
what-
rare.
Yeah, it's rare.
It's
like in a
reduced.
college or something, if you're performing and
Yeah,
I
it has
say, why
happened.
did you play
It has.
so-and-so?
Very rarely, because it has happened.
Yeah, sometimes these
But do you all
people
then
sometimes-
oblige? Do you all oblige?
Oh yeah.
them?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like Sutta and all, yeah.
It has happened. It has happened quite a few times. But I think the fact that we established like our first gig ever was mainly, I think, some 6 original songs and 1 cover. So we've been working with that formula and giving that that outlook to everybody since back then, since like for now 2 years. So it's not expected of us anymore, which is really good. Like organizers don't expect it usually.
Like they would ask, we'd say no, they'd say okay.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sure a lot of new bands get this as well, but almost every gig that we got at one point, people would ask, so do you play covers? And we'd say no. And even if we do play covers in our own way or whatever, we just say no. Because if we're going to say yes, then they're going to expect a whole repertoire of covers, and they're going to expect it in the way that they,
Which has also
expect it.
happened.
Yeah, which has also happened after we've said no and after we've turned up and people have gone like, can you play covers? Can you go on for more time? Can you, if some people ask for requests, can you do that? And I don't know, we're just not that
Yeah,
kind
there
of
was
guy.
this one instance where someone came up to us and was like, can you play songs that will make my 17-year-old son dance? And we just had nothing to say to that. It's like, we'll try, we'll play a few maybe. And but it's always nicer. Like there are a lot of instances when people really appreciate that we're playing our original music,
Yeah.
which is great.
So what is the Spud In The Box sound like?
Very varied, not pinned down just yet because I think we're only 2 years in and we don't want to limit ourselves to where we can go.
But that could
and
also be defined as our sound, that we're just not limiting ourselves.
Yeah.
So
That
you're
depends,
you're
we-
not slotting yourselves
yeah,
as
the thing is that
an
depends.
alternative
We
rock
not.
or-
I mean, we put
Not
one.
pinpointed
yeah.
anything just
We
yet.
put one
It's
EP out.
moving.
We put one EP out very recently, this month, like 10 days back. So, pinpointing a sound before we put on an album, before we put out whatever, is a little premature, I feel. Then again, just to put, to fill up that genre slot on iTunes or on whatever,
Because you have
Or
to.
in people's minds.
or in
more
people's
likely.
minds, we call ourselves alternative pop rock.
Yeah.
But that's just reading from the kind of material we have now, which might
No, and
change.
it's also, I don't know, that might change a lot in the future, but as of right now, it's still coming from that singer-songwriter kind of point of view at least.
Like
You know,
5
it
years from
starts-
now, we could be bluegrass, bhangra, jazz metal. For all you know. Like,
Yeah, but it always
fair.
starts as a singer-songwriter kind of point of view, I would say, because it starts as, what the structure of the song is, how you would want it to sound. almost always starts acoustically.
Yeah.
Like it's almost always.
No, that's why the acoustic is also still there. It's the core of everything.
No, almost not always.
Isolos was also made on acoustic first. Yeah. Any song and every song will have to have its
roots.
Whatever,
I played it on acoustic in his house because that's what you gave me.
Acoustic.
There was no electricity.
No, it was written on my.
Any plans of getting sometimes an Indian instrument?
Oh,
We've done that.
We do collaborate. We're open to collaborations and stuff. And like we jammed with Vivek Rajgopalan.
I think that would count as an Indian instrument. Kanjira counts?
Of course.
Definitely.
What else?
What else can you say?
No, it's Russian.
So how did that come about, playing with Vivek? What happened there?
Actually, we opened for Indiscreet at Blue Frog once, and he saw us there, and he was really kind, and he said he really likes the music and really likes the stuff, and would
And then after that, we had a chance to. We had a gig which was the Dreammakers. Yeah, it was the
Dreammakers anniversary.
Yeah, so which is the management that we have, Dreammakers.
Run by this lady called Shreya Nayak.
Yes.
Look up her Facebook page, especially the Dreammakers page, a bunch of artists listening.
So they were having their anniversary gig, and that was a chance for us to collaborate. Like there were on the whole bill, there were I think some 28 different musicians playing that night, and everyone was collaborating. So we wanted to do something really different and try something really different. And because Vivek had approached us just then, we really thought it would be cool to find out what.
Did you rehearse before?
Oh yeah, we rehearsed
once with him.
The day before the
show.
How did it turn
also,
out?
I don't know, you guys there for Nandini Speaker's gig?
Yeah, I was there.
That was the first time I saw him, and what stayed in my mind, what I'm so glad what he used on the song that he played with us on, was the Kanjira.
Yeah.
Because as cool as it was a percussive note, you could do note bends and all on it. So that was like awesome. Like when I heard that, I was like, I hope he uses that, and that's exactly what.
So how did the experience turn out to be?
But I don't think he brought the Kanjira thinking in mind. This would sound good in a Spud In The Box song. He brought it because he knew that there were 6 bloody people on a stage, and there was no way he could fit in another instrument.
I'm just glad he bought it. Like, that was
so because it's small, and it was such a nice texture to the song that we
played. So do you
played.
think that there could be room for something a little more, not kind of actually permanent, but something more sneaking into your songs as live performance with an instrument or vocal?
Like we said, like if one of the 6 of us knew how to play a different instrument, I am positive that we would have already tried it out in a song, and I am sure that it would have sneaked into at least one song by now. Because it's all about what 6 people can do in this band. So we're trying out each and everything. That's what we went about, experimenting, trying to go in every direction that we can before landing on one. And if anybody else could have given that texture earlier on, we would have probably used it by now. But the fact that we were able to collaborate with him for that one song brought in that texture which we'd never heard before, and which we'd never tried out before, and it sounded amazing, at least to us. So we went with it then.
What about vocals, like Indian vocals or something like that?
We have tried that out as well. Like we played our first entire slot at Blue Frog in September last year, and we asked Vasudha Sharma to sing one song with us on stage, because when the band started out, the first gig that we ever did, Vasudha Sharma played on that same
stage
bill, and she recommended our name to our current manager. So we really owed her that. So we wanted her to join us on stage for that one song.
Any one of you in the band does Indian parts or something?
Yeah, I've learned Indian classical music off and on for the last few years, and it started off with just being pushed to do it in the beginning, and honestly I didn't have any interest in singing live or of any sort till this band started, or till maybe 6 months before this band started. So when that happened, I wanted to incorporate what I kind of learned a little bit at least. So it got incorporated into the music quite early on, more than once. The song that's on the EP as well, it has a few Indian parts and a few vocals as well, and that was incorporated way back then, when the song was made, 3 years ago maybe. So we've been playing it with that part since then. It's just modified itself and it's kind of grown since then.
Yeah.
But based on this, do you think you would want to actively pursue this Indian singing part seriously, Ankit, at some point?
I would love to. Like, if I honestly feel that if I can get my skill in the way of singing, in that way of singing to a much higher level, that I would love to do it, much more often and try to incorporate it in.
That kind of adds to the whole thing that we're ready to go in any direction. And the thing is that someone might listen to our music which has the Indian classical influence a little bit, and someone who's trained in Indian classical and be and they might be like, oh, that's not so perfect in theory, or that's not so, but that's not why we do it. We're not trying to pretend like we're the masters of Indian classical. We're not trying to pretend that we're the masters of any genre that we kind of go into. We just add that color in, that flavor in, just to make it interesting.
Like I said, just show what 6 people can do.
Yeah, anything that sounds good.
Yeah.